So I'm about to start the longest day Pegasus Bridge skirmish thing. I've done a couple of pieces of housekeeping. So on the troopers now, I've given them numbers, and some of the special ones like the medic, Batman, I've put a sticker on to remind me that they're not run-of-the-mill troopers. Those numbers correspond to these bits of tissue paper, and I use tissue paper on purpose. If you use ordinary paper, it doesn't work. This is just tissue paper, toilet paper if you like. When I drop this, it flutters. Now that's important. The Germans are in position. I diced at random to see where the Germans were. And here I'm going to come along and I'm going to try and blow the parachute. From a farmhouse in the distance, a dog barks. The sounds all around. So that view there, you can see the border collie that made the noise. I'm going to get a toy border collie, and every time he barks like that, I'm going to put him on. The little bit of tissue paper, they've landed pretty much in a clump over here, but there are some scattered elsewhere. The men all have corresponding numbers like this on the bases of the figures. So the parachutes have come down. Have any Germans seen anything? Are they alert within 9 inches? Well, the only two alert Germans are on the bridge. He's more than 9 inches away. Oh, that's close. That's very close. And I think the only fair thing to say is that if it's an odd number, he notices. It's an odd number. He notices the chutes come down, and he's going to play his counter now because he gets the first action. He could take a shot, and I think he could run and alert people, but I think taking a shot is going to alert people. So he's going to have a shot there at that man. It's at short range, under 10, which is 4, 5 and 6, but he's arriving by surprise on a parachute, so it becomes 5 or 6. That's a miss, but it does alert the German garrison. So the British now hit the ground. That doesn't cost a counter, and it's a British turn because it goes 1 then 1. So this man, he's only got 1 counter, so he couldn't move, for example, and take cover. But he can take a shot. And again, it's 4, 5 and 6, but he's sort of landed on his parachute. He gets himself sort of seated position, takes a snapshot. So I'm going to say 5 or 6 instead of 4. No, he misses. He's going to take a shot at 5 and 6. Oh, it's hit him. I've hit him on 5 and 6. Now I need to know what his injury is. He's hit in the upper arm, which is a deep penetrating wound, forcing him out of the action. I'm going to get him out of his tent. And so let's come here where 3 men have landed. I've got 1 counter on them. So he is going to move 5. They'd better rouse themselves, I think. So he can come out of the building, but he can't do very much else. He wakes up, he gets out of his sleeping bag, he grabs his weapons, he comes through the door. Right, the German radio operator going to try and contact German headquarters. British soldier here. Moves 4. British now are the only ones with any activations. So, British activation, the radio. It's going to move 6. It's going to move behind the hill. Same as all machine guns. Yeah. So he's in range, but the German, I can't really neither of them spent a turn lying down. They're both up standing up. He stood up. I think they can shoot at each other, but I'll take one off just to be fair. And I need 6s. No. Try and get to the foxhole. Oh dear. 1. Oops. Right, so I've got a man over here with 1 counter. He makes 1 move, and that 1 move puts his rifle through a hole there in the fence. The Germans, again, he's going to try and dive into there. No, he doesn't. He gets to there. Germans now open fire. So it isn't 2 shots from that gun because he's using his action. His action is a loader. His action is firing the gun. So it's 1 shot. It would normally be 3 dice. But it's under, oh no, it's under 10. But he's firing downhill, isn't he? They only just got together. I'll make it 2 dice. And they need 5s and 6s, and they're firing at the brain gun. Oh, they missed him. 1 under 3. Jeez, bloody hell. Mother! Wow. German over there. Does he get in the foxhole? Does he have a shot? He's going to have a shot at him. And it's going to be 4, 5 and 6. Oh, that's a hit. Yes. Oh no, throat. Deep wound. Requires medic. Stretcher bearers! Oh, Rollo's livid. Unfortunately, as he's the medic. Oh gosh. Oh no. I don't like that. 3 shots at medium range, which is 5 and 6. No hits, 2 4s and a 3. There's a lot of bullets pinging about, and I've got a man down in this corner who doesn't come on. Alright, this is something they can do. I had these made. Chap I know who makes things out of MDF, and he carved these for me, and this says alert. An alert is almost like an overwatch, so they're going to use 1 counter to go to overwatch rather than take penalties for moving or anything else. Right, British. So this chap loses 1 for going uphill. He moves 2, which is 5, gets him to the top of the hill, and he opens fire. He can only fire once at a time, but he's got a shot there for 3, but it's an unsteady shot because he's moving. That's 2, and it's going to be 4s on this machine gun. 1 hit. Black, it's the loader. It is. He's been hit in the hand. Oh, he's dazed for a turn. And I'll show that he is dazed by using a colour I don't normally use, black. Very rarely use the black counters. Should have used that. That should have been an interrupt. Okay, so he tries to use that. Before any of this, he comes running up the hill. He tries to do that. He's got to get white higher. Yes, it is. He gets a shot. It would normally be 3. It becomes 2 because it's a snapshot. Oh, double 1. Gun jams. Oops. Gun jams. Oh dear. How jammy is that Bren gun guy? Then the Bren gun man gets to the top of the hill. And he opens fire. That stuns him. Right? So that was that. Now I'm back to the Bren gun man, who was hit. Black dice him. And he's hit him in the torso. Blood pours from the wound as he retreats. And he retreats a full move of 6. That's the back of his feet. Now, that's the back of his feet. I think that probably calls for a sad face. So, off he goes. Germans. Oh, gosh. He's going to get into the foxhole. Bren gunner is going to fire again. Now he's stood still this time. And he's fired at this lad. And he's hit him 3 times. And he's hit him in the lower arm. His injured arm hangs horrifically, part severed. He's hit in the throat. Blood pours from the wound. His heart nearly lost an arm. He's got a throat wound. If you add all that lot together, he is in terrible trouble. Absolute trouble. How long has he got? Oh gosh, if he doesn't get medical help in one move, he's going to die. Medical help ain't coming. There isn't any for the Germans, and even if I wanted to send mine, my own is wounded. How long has mine got? 4. German command tried to be reached on the radio. He's black higher. No, still not got through. Black dice is higher. German initiative. Equal throw again. No, British initiative this time. Right, so first job. Are you going to surrender? I need to know more about this fella. This is the chap who's the Bren gun commander. Look at his military background. From Sheffield, 24. He's not married, but he is engaged. This is his first action. I'm going to ask that man to surrender again. I think brutality's not entering into this yet. So white's higher, and I shall give the allies an advantage because of that man's condition. Yeah, he surrenders. Okay, men in the foxholes. He's going to turn round, which isn't an action, and he's going to absolutely pepper Lieutenant Todd, who's running with his Sten gun like a madman towards him. So it's a range of 4, 5 and 6 for a hit. Not one hit. Look at that. That was a 3. That flipped over. Wow. Okay, well, Todd's fighting back. Come on, son. He empties his Sten gun into that guy. Again, 4, 5 and 6s. He hit him once. Right, okay. He sort of bursts the sandbags in front of him, and he is forced just to take a step back and gather his wits and get the sand out of his eyes. He's going to have a shot. Just one shot, 4, 5 and 6. Missed. One hit. He hits him lower arm, which is a deep penetrating wound, forcing the man from the action. So that chap is shot very badly and slumps down in the trench, taking no more part in the action. German wounded man gets himself in there and hopes for a bit of a miracle. 4, 5 and 6 hit him. His injury is his shoulder, back of his shoulder, because he shot him from behind. I am afraid is another one of those, yeah, you're going to require treatment very soon, the old cocksparrow. That's the end of the turn. I'm going to do this man here. First action, he runs 8. Let's try and get that radio message through, I think, before anything terrible happens. Black needs to be higher. No, it's not. Oh man, this radio is rubbish. What's happening? He takes over, guarding him, and he uses his counter to switch that over. The Germans, well, he's going to have a shot, but the tent's in the way. He's going to have a shot. It will be fine if it becomes he needs a 6 because he's shooting through the tent. No, he can't do anything. All the actions here, it's the radio operator. He needs black higher to get through. No. No. Oh man. The British. We've got the Bren gun here, which will now move up. It could move up 12. Oh dear. He's going to creep along that edge. He's not going to go 12. He's going to go 8. So he's going to lose a dice because he's crouching. If he was crawling, he'd lose 2 dice. But he's sort of crouching below the hedge, so they might not see him. Sergeant might keep alert, I think, which means that it's going to be the rifleman. Rifleman. 1 shot needs a 6, we know that. No. Bren gun. 2 shots through the tent into the building. So the first shot of 3 through the tent loses a dice. Needs 6s. No. But this is starting to get splattered now. Germans, the sergeant's just going on alert. That's the final German turn. He is going to have another shot. Needs a 6. Oh, look at that. 2 6s. Black is Kurt. White is the radio operator. Kurt, radio operator. So the 2 hit are Kurt and the soldier. I'm going to do the soldier first. The soldier is hit. He's hitting the torso, but he's behind that wall. That does give him a chance of a save. Yeah, it actually hits the wall. And the sergeant is hit in the upper arm, but again he's in the building. It doesn't save him. Blood pours from a wound as he retreats. Well, he can't retreat, which means he surrenders. So he comes out of the building. 1d6, just 1. With his hands in the air. My gut feeling is that there are soldiers that could shoot at him. That Bren gunner is firing at the building. Suddenly, it's just a spurt of shot into the building. and a German staggers out with his hands up, he might be so keyed up that he just presses the trigger. I don't want him to do that. I'm just going to say it's a 50-50 thing. I'm going to use the face dice. This is the Bren gunner's mental state. He's sad. The man's just staggered out from the building with his arm pouring in blood with his hands in the air, and it's upset him. So he's not angry, he's not furious, he's not lost control. He's sad. He ain't firing again. He doesn't fire. Now there's still a rifleman in there who couldn't fire, and he's now going to fire at the Bren gun, who didn't fire, but he misses anyway. And at this point, my lieutenant stands out there and tells the German sergeant, how much can they understand each other? How much of the language can you understand as a percentage? 29, about a third of the words said they can understand either Todd's German or his English. I remember we were on holiday once, and my dad had served in the British Army, and we were camping next to a German family, and the German chap had served in the German Army. And as my dad and this German man talked, it turned out they'd faced each other in the same actions, and they had a whale of a time. Cans of beer and big sausage, and they re-encountered, and they were laughing and punching each other. And honestly, the best holiday I think my dad ever had. And they got by in sort of pidgin French and a bit of broken German and a bit of broken English. I don't think I've ever seen my dad as happy. So that's the end of the action. But there are now consequences to that, which probably might be better in a follow-up video. So the actions ended. We've now got to try and pull everyone together and work out what happens, because there could well be German counterattacks. Let's try that. So, first of all, prisoners have been secured, medics, blah, 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 but we're expecting a German counterattack. So, but there's also an English-British relief column coming. So let's see what happens. So in the first hour, oh, well that's good. Coming down the road appears the British Third Army, and there's a long column of them arriving to relieve the 9th who are on the bridge. So far, the 9th have not lost a man. We still are not sure about the men who didn't land, and we're not sure about the wounded man. We have to deal with that over the next hour or two.